Knock knock. Who's there? Orange. Orange who? Orange Bikes has entered administration. They're going under just like Chain Reaction Cycles and Wiggle. Oh my goodness. Not the case. Let's talk about the facts of the situation and why I believe Orange Bicycles is still going to be around. Before I break all that down, I need to go through 3 quick items with y'all. Now, the first one being I finally got a new camera, a new microphone, and have improved the audio via editing software. And I hope that it's made a difference. Let me know down below in the comments if you think so. Compare it to one of my earlier videos, probably 3-4 weeks ago. And kind of compare and contrast there. Let me know if it's making a difference. I have 30 days to return it and get it back. That would be really helpful. The second point. We are actually moving. Now, you may notice behind me I have crap everywhere in this office, and what I've had to do since the start of this channel and the house being on the market here in Texas is I've actually had to break down the studio 2 or 3 times a day, depending on the day of the week, so that way the house can be shown. I'm no longer going to be having to do that. The house has sold, and we have actually put an offer in on a place up in Colorado and had it accepted. Now, provided the inspection goes well, we will be closing on that house at the end of this month and starting the build out on the bike studio. I'm super excited about that. Hopefully that's going to vastly improve the quality of these videos as well as the content we can create. We'll finally have a place to work on bikes and show you all the new stuff that's coming, because there's a lot of news surrounding that I don't know if I can talk about yet, but there's a lot of really cool stuff on the way. And the third item of business is the fact that we finally hit over 1,000 subscribers. Thank y'all so much for the support. It is absolutely incredible to see that, rough 100 days or so, we've actually hit 1,000. I never thought that would happen, but I'm glad to see that this is resonating with some of y'all out there, that people are finding this channel. So the best thing that you can possibly do to help other people find it and help this channel grow and continue so we can do more epic things is by liking, commenting, and subscribing to the channel, if you haven't already. But if you have, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Now, let's break down this latest news surrounding Orange Bicycles. It was late last week or early into the weekend when it seemed like there were a ton of articles coming out that were saying Orange Bicycles enters administration. It is a Chain Reaction Cycles Wiggle scenario all over again. They're going under. They're going to be for sale. Everybody scoop up as many Orange Bicycles on Facebook Marketplace as you possibly can, because you won't be able to get them. Not the case, because turn around to this week, about midweek, you go to try to look for those same articles, and 90% of them have either been completely retracted and deleted, or they have been massively updated. The only one that it seems like has left their article alone is Forbes, and they actually still have an update on there with the company statement. So the interesting thing here, and the first point I want to make, is the fact that not everything you see all of the time, whenever it first comes out without a company statement officially, is going to be factual whenever it comes to the bike industry. There's a lot of hype surrounding it. Think about whenever you see a new bike come out. It's driven off of hype. It's driven off word of mouth, and we don't really know what the specs are until later on. Now, it's the same thing whenever news about a company comes out. You can see something get dropped. Everybody's talking about it. There's a bunch of rumors, but until we have confirmation and the hard fact sheet, we're just speculating. So that's the first lesson here. But the second one is actually going to be talking about administration in general. Administration is extremely common in business. Now, a lot of businesses go into it whenever they're facing difficult times. That's true. So that association, correct. However, administration can be for multiple reasons. We have to take into account the fact that Orange Bikes just nixed their race team, their whole factory program, and that in and of itself, that's an entire marketing segment of a business. There's lots of sponsorships and partnerships that are associated with it, and unfortunately, sometimes those come with contracts. So if you end up terminating that or nixing it, then those sponsorships, those contracts, maybe you didn't let them run out completely, those people could technically come back and sue you. But if you have entered administration and you can show that you are restructuring your business, then you kind of can't really be sued as easily, and it kind of offers some protection during that time period. So administration, I don't necessarily think it should have the connotation it does, especially after Cigna Sports United and they're entering administration. It's a little bit different. The other big point is it's an intent to appoint an administrator. That's what was filed. Not, hey, we have an administrator, we're entering administration, it's the end of the world. No, we have intent to appoint an administrator. A little different. One thing that I really want to walk you through here is the fact that you can actually conduct a lot of research on your own, so you can help be a verifier of these things. I straight up Googled Orange Bicycles financials. I tracked that down. I went through a few different websites. I found the consistent information that was across the internet. I verified and cross-referenced addresses. I went to Google Maps, made sure that address was accurate, as well as I made some phone calls to a few people in local, municipalities and people who would kind of have an idea. Now, granted, their information is kind of limited on what they can share. They are a privately owned company. One interesting thing here, Orange Bicycles is a one shareholder business, meaning they are privately owned. They are not publicly traded in contrast with Cigna Sports United. So there's a big difference there. When you are privately owned, you really don't have shareholders to answer to. So you can have a terrible year. It's just on you. And that's actually kind of a good thing. One interesting thing here is Orange Bicycles in 2021, they had a 34% increase. That's in line with a lot of bike companies. It's consistent. Now, take that information, and one thing that I want to challenge, some of y'all out there who are more tech savvy, is go into Excel, start populating some of this data that you can find, and you can have one bike company here with your latest or, year contrast data. So like 2021, 34%, and put in some of the other financial numbers you can find. You can actually find other brands that are very similar, compare region, compare bike style, bike type, customer, kind of demographics, create an avatar for them. You can actually take 5 or 6 different companies that are similar that have more public data or are publicly traded, and you can populate those, and you can actually kind of compare and contrast, because if one industry as a whole is down, it's going to affect all the companies kind of the same. So it's very interesting. I don't think Orange Bikes, based on, the things that I have compiled, is in that bad of a situation. And the biggest thing here that I really want to emphasize to you is I don't necessarily think Orange Bikes is going to fall the same way that the whole Cigna Sports United, CRC, Wiggle, New Proof, Vitas did, because Orange is actually an enthusiast brand that has been around for a while. And I want to say that because you look at some of these bike companies, Vitas, New Proof kind of being the big ones, those companies really came onto the scene and were bought up whenever the bike industry was booming and growing. And they were bought up by an investor who, in full transparency, his background reflects nothing about caring about the cycling industry. And a lot of companies, that same thing happened. Now, I don't want to necessarily say they're not enthusiast brands, because they are. They make niche bikes, but they're not ran the same. The investors, the shareholders, they don't care the same. Versus Orange, with one shareholder, as long as that one shareholder really cares, I think they're going to stick around and continue to make bikes. And that's also reinforced by the statement that they released, which essentially prompted everybody to delete their articles and update them. And literally in that statement, they said that they are currently working with a specialist business rescue advisory firm with a view to restructuring the business in order to provide a viable platform to service our customers in the best way possible, safeguarding jobs. That's another contrast. Wiggle CRC, cutting jobs constantly. And then also, and ensuring the continuation and strength of the Orange Bikes business moving forwards. That doesn't sound like a company that's planning on going up for sale, cut jobs, or just drop out anytime soon. Now, of course, this could all change. Maybe they're just trying to play it up and hide the fact that they're really as bad off as they could be. But again, I don't have any data to support that yet. If anybody out there of y'all does, let me know down below in the comments. But until then, I don't really think it's that big of a deal. I still think they're going to be around for a while. Now, of course, we're going to see bike prices probably increase on Orange Bikes because there's going to be demand. It's kind of like any of the retro stuff. When those companies are gone, those companies aren't making it anymore. They just get scooped up on Facebook Marketplace. So, is what it is. But don't believe everything you hear or read or see on the internet. As always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time, and I will see you on the next video.